You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
I'm going to try to come in here today and calm some feathers and maybe change some diapers, maybe talk some people into buying some rash cream, because it seems like some of my Alabama fans are still rashing up over that horrible loss to Vanderbilt this past weekend. As the meltdowns continue and Malachi Moore posts an apology, whether it was heartfelt or not, that is up for debate. Kalen DeBoer, people were talking about firing Kalen DeBoer already. Can you believe it? Let's talk about it. Going down, down, down in a burning ring of fire. Seems like still having a little bit of a meltdown over this stuff going into Tuesday. I normally wouldn't keep talking about a game from last week, but I keep getting these messages and seeing these comments that a lot of my Alabama fans are making that I feel like we all need to address and maybe calm some feathers, as I said earlier. But before we get to all that, here they come once again right on in. It's the Outlaw Posse. Now, in effect, and today's four horsemen shout-outs go to Killer Breeze, James, Sean James, and Jeff Payton are mounted up and saddled up and ready to go. And they're going to help us with today's college football invasion. And if you want to get your badge and get deputized like those guys and get a random four horseman shout-out, as well as possibly be the comment of the day, which will come later in the show. We will do a comment of the day today. All you got to do is hit that join button next to the subscribe button. It's not $2.99 a month. That's just 75 cents a week. That's just a half a bottle of water for the Outlaw. Now, getting right to it here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up today's apology letter from Malachi Moore. Go ahead and get that out of the way, and y'all can tell me exactly what you think about this. All right, here it is. I want to apologize to my teammates, our coaches, the fans, our alumni, and my family for the way I acted on Saturday. I was completely out of line and let the emotions of the game get the best of me and put myself before the team. As a two-time captain and a fifth-year player, I understand the standard that we are expected to live up to at Alabama, and I failed to do so by acting in a selfish and unacceptable manner. I came back this season to represent myself, this team, and this university because it means something to me. I am blessed to be able to wear the script A on my chest, and I know all that comes responsibility of representing the program. I will do better to uphold the Alabama standard moving forward, and I will continue to work and improve while conducting myself in a first-class manner. But off of that, we've gotten this. Check this out. An action figure of college athletes and mascots bring home the excitement of your favorite teams. Look at here. We got a Malachi Moore removable figure, action figure. So I guess now, he can take off all his shit and start throwing it if he wants to. But like I said, I wasn't a big fan of how Malachi Moore acted after the thing. Now, to give him his due, he did come out and apologize. That is true. But I think it's a little late, ain't it? I mean, maybe he should apologize after the game. Now, Kalen DeBoer did say that he came to him and talked to him and apologized to him and the team, but he didn't make any statements to the media or anything Sunday or Saturday night or Sunday night or Monday night. We're just not getting this Tuesday. It makes it look like it might be a little insincere, and that maybe because of the blowback that Malachi Moore got, he decided to make an apology, which goes back to the old adage or cliche, whatever you want to call it, of you're not really sorry for what you did. You're just sorry for the blowback or getting caught. And that's the way it comes across to some people out there, and that's fair in them saying that. But to backtrack a little bit, because a lot of my fellow Alabama fans didn't believe me when I told them about this play. This was before he ever started throwing all of his equipment and kicking shit and throwing a tantrum like a little kid that just got told he couldn't have a toy in the toy store. This is the play before that I was talking about.
Out, take a look here. A little moment. Diego Pavia taking off for running here. Then Malachi Moore after the tackle kind of slams him as he's trying to get up. You don't see that from a leader. And then moments after that, after the refs already put the ball down, gives a little boot. Unnecessary 15-yard penalty. You do not see that anytime when you see the Crimson Tide. And, of course, Malachi Moore speaking on that this week after all the action, saying this, quote, "I want to apologize to my teammate."
Not going to make y'all watch all that because I just read all that. But, yeah, as you can see there from that video, and hopefully it don't get taken down. Sometimes they red flag me on this shit. So if for some reason this doesn't show the clip later on, it's because they made me remove it. But basically he tackles the guy and then just shoves his hand into his face mask. No, it's just uncalled for. And in that apology, as a lot of my friends have pointed out, once again, my boy Ray Patton provided me with a lot of this stuff, so I'll give him credit for that. But there was no apology to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's the one that you disrespected. You didn't disrespect us. You might have embarrassed us, but you didn't disrespect us. You disrespected Vanderbilt. Now, I understand during that game, there were a lot of instances where Vanderbilt was antagonizing Alabama. But it's just not, it just doesn't look like how Alabama usually acts. That's why you have all these Alabama fans out there. And I hate to be this fan because this is the worst kind of fan to me. Already just one loss and people are talking about moving on from Kalen DeBoer. I'm like, man, we need to take notes. Be real careful about moving on so quickly from a coach. Especially after it probably finish out the season, of course. But if you try to let go of this guy after 1 or 2 seasons, it just disrupts the whole thing. And a lot of people are pointing to the Bill Snyder situation at Kansas State. You know, he was a legend at Kansas State, brought up a program that was the losingest program of all time until the 1990s on every level, including NAIA, NAIA Division I, Division I AA. He brought them up to being a winner. He's a legend at Kansas State. He steps down. Ron Prince takes over for a couple of seasons. Kansas State bottoms out. And he comes back. I think he was like 74 or 75 when he come back, when Bill Snyder came back. Now people are saying, well, maybe Saban just needs a break. Maybe he just needs a couple of years to take off and get that itch back, get that fever back. But I think we're reacting way too quickly to this. I think people are overreacting. Yes, it's a bad loss, but from bad losses sometimes comes some spine. People actually bow up and they start doing better. Now, later on this season, if we lose to someone like South Carolina this week, then yeah, there's probably going to be some issues going forward. If we struggle with South Carolina, there might be some issues, and then lose to Tennessee. I think that, in my opinion, because of how horrible this has played out for Alabama and how they've looked and taken this loss, you almost feel like we got to win out to prove it was just a fluke. We might be able to stomach one more loss. We may be able to take one more loss to maybe a Tennessee or an LSU or Oklahoma or somebody like that. But if you lose to Vanderbilt and then lose to someone like South Carolina or Auburn, who's 2-4 right now, and let Auburn beat you in Tuscaloosa, which don't happen these days anymore. Used to, but it don't happen anymore. Then you have some problems going forward, and people will start calling for your head after 1 year because this is Alabama football. And like a lot of people pointed out, a lot of people are trying to take up for Kalen DeBoer pointed out that Nick Saban did lose to Northeast Louisiana, which is now Louisiana Monroe, in 2007 with a bunch of players that were bust in on some cheese wagons. But the reason why, and it was an embarrassing loss to probably a much worse program than Vanderbilt. But the thing is, Saban took over a program that was in disarray, a program that was 6-6 the year before. Clay Travis on his show had said we was 3-9 or something, but that's not true. We were 6-6, and he took over a program in disarray. Kalen DeBoer didn't take over a program in disarray on a decline. Saban didn't stay around too long like Joe Paterno and Bobby Bowden and drive the program in the ground and have them going 7-6 and 4-8 every year like Paterno and Bowden did. The program was in really good shape, and you even had a great recruiting class in your first class, Kalen. So, yeah, let's just let this season play out. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what goes down and quit the meltdown, because everybody's watching now. We are the standard. We're blue blood and probably the gold standard of blue bloods. So when we lose, and we lose to someone like that after beating Georgia, then yeah, you're going to have issues. So you might as well just get ready for it and stomach it, Kalen, or Alabama football players, because this is Alabama football, and when something like this happens, everybody's watching. Everybody's going to see how you react and how you handle this situation going forward. Everybody's ringing the bells, ding dong, the big bad Bama's dead. They've done this before. Paul Feinbaum, probably the most wishy-washy bastard in the world, is already talking this smack. Stephen A. Smith getting on there, talking all matter-of-factly and shaking his little finger like he's the end-all and know-all of Alabama situation. He don't know shit. All those talking heads are going to rile you up. And you just got to let that shit slide off the back. You just got to. And see how it plays out. And they could be right. They've been right before. Hell, every once in a while, you know, you're going to be right. If you say Alabama's going to lose every game, sooner or later you're going to be right. You might get 1 or 2 out of 14 right if you like those percentages for yourself. But it's going to be right. And another thing, the Georgia people that are running in here. Oh, you lost. Oh, you lost. See, y'all lost. It was a fluke that y'all beat us. You don't get up 28-0 for a fluke, man. Everybody wants to dwell on Alabama blowing a 28-point lead, but why did y'all allow them to get up 28 points to begin with? Vanderbilt didn't allow that. So for you to come in here and make fun of Alabama for losing to Vanderbilt, you're really making fun of yourself, because Georgia lost to the team, that being Alabama. Georgia lost the team that lost to Vanderbilt. Oh, by the way, Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State, too. So, you know, Georgia, come in here if you want to play the domino effect thing. Maybe you're the second best team in Georgia. If that's the case, maybe Georgia State's better than everybody. But, yeah, I wouldn't be taking delight in that, Georgia. You're making yourself look sort of spastic, and it hurts your strength of schedule. There is one more video that I would like to play before we get out of here, and I'll give you the comment of the day. Bring this up for y'all. Now, I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but there towards the end of that, someone threw something into the crowd. One of the players did. Threw their towel or something up there. And I don't think it was an Alabama fan they were throwing it at. Go back and rewatch it. I just noticed that when I was watching it. But they threw something at the crowd. They were over there. I don't know who started it. Now, Vanderbilt may have been antagonizing them. But once again, it's a bad representation of yourself, and you got to know that everybody's watching today. Today's social media and people with their cameras on at all times, you got to really, really be on your P's and Q's and be self-aware of what is going on around you, around yourself. Now, let's get to the comment of the day. The comment of the day is from Jimmy Sexton 4201. Is that Agent Jimmy Sexton? Well, now, you want to be my agent, Jimmy? Jimmy Sexton says, I, for one, am beyond sick of all the quotes and the quips and the constant interviews, dancing and partying when you're getting beat. I miss the Saban teams when players are seen and not heard. We need Bama action instead of quotes, quips. Shut up and play ball. And I could not agree any more than what Jimmy Sexton just said. Now, there's a little heart down here. If you want to make a one-time donation to the program, it's right down here. Smash that heart, throw a few dollars in the coffers, help keep the lights on. Also, as I said earlier, you can join the Outlaw Posse. It's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. It's a little join button next to the subscribe button. And then there's the big four, which are all free. The big four are all free. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe is most important. Gets more people in the party, gets this party crunk. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.